Moist American prayer. Allah, Father, universe.
Allah, Father, universe.
Father, love.
Father, love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace. Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
My night.
My night.
And my day.
And my day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Duali.
Duali.
Amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing for the more honors of unity. First shall rise, give praise to Allah,
First I rise to give praise to Allah,
the great God of the universe.
the great God of the universe.
I give honor to the last prophet in these days,
I give honor to the last prophet in these days,
Prophet Noble Duali.
Prophet Noble Duali.
I give honor to all of the prophets of Allah,
I give honor to all the prophets of Allah,
Jesus, Muhammad,
Muhammad,
Buddha,
Buddha,
Confucius,
Confucius,
etc.
etc.
I give honor to Marcus Garvey,
I give honor to Marcus Garvey,
forerunner of Prophet Noble Duali.
forerunner of Prophet Noble Duali.
I give honor to our two flags,
I give honor to our two flags,
the American flag,
the American flag,
the flag of our birth,
the flag of our birth,
and to the Moorish flag,
and to the Moorish flag,
our decent flag,
our decent flag,
the red flag,
the red flag,
with the five-pointed green star in the center,
with the five-pointed green star in the center,
representing the divine principle
representing the divine principle
of love, true peace, freedom, and justice.
of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
I give honor to our divine charter,
I give honor to our divine charter,
which gives us the divine and legal right
which gives us the divine and legal right
to practice and promote our religion
to practice and promote our religion
unmolested.
unmolested.
I give honor to all past leaders
I give honor to all past leaders
of the Moorish Science Temple of America
of the Moorish Science Temple of America
in succession.
in succession.
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
and Brother J. Blakely Bay,
and Brother J. Blakely Bay,
the past Supreme Grand Advisor and Moderator
past Supreme Grand Advisor Moderator
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated.
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated.
I give honor to our past Grand Sheik and Moderator,
I give honor to our past Grand Sheik and Moderator,
Brother R. Loveville.
Brother Arnold.
I give honor to our present Grand Sheik,
I give honor to our present Grand Sheik,
who is the moderator
who is the moderator
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated,
of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated,
Brother R. Jones Bay.
Brother R. Jones Bay.
I give honor to Brother A. Hopkins Bay,
I give honor to Brother A. Hopkins Bay,
the Assistant Grand Sheik
the Assistant Grand Sheik
of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
I give honor to the Grand National Chairman
I give honor to the Grand National Chair
of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
who's also the Grand Sheik here
who is also the Grand Sheik
at Temple 71,
at Temple 71,
Brother P. Chase Hill.
Brother P. Churchill.
I give honor to the Grand National Secretary
I give honor to the Grand National Secretary
of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
I give honor to all national, state, and local officials
I give honor to all national, state, and local officials
in their office and station.
in their office and station.
I give honor to the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.,
I give honor to the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.,
Brother H. Harris Bay,
Brother H. Harris Bay,
and to his assistant,
and to his assistant,
Brother T. Dozier Bay.
Brother T. Dozier Bay.
I give honor to all divine ministers,
I give honor to all divine ministers,
sheiks and sheikas,
chiefs and chiefs,
all members,
all members,
all auxiliaries,
all auxiliaries,
and to the Moorish media team,
and to the Moorish media team,
and everything that the Prophet Noble Duali brought and taught
and everything that the government does
for the uplifting of fallen man.
for the uplifting of all humanity.
I give honor to all of our viewers
I give honor to all our leaders
and all of those who are listening in.
and all of those who are listening
I
here.
give honor to our class.
I give honor to our class.
Peace.
Peace.
And I'll now read Salvation, Our God, Unity. The Divine Constitution and Bylaws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, And on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh, and ascended unto his father, God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being in Moorish America, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet Noble Drew Ali through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali founder. Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 2905 5th Street, Southeast, Washington, D.C., 20032. Thus, we've had a reading from all 7 acts of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. We'll now have a reading from questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish American by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand chiefs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any members. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the member to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the prophet or the grand chief. Act 2. All members are to attend their ad meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to save the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me and save the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people. And justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, true peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Peace. Thus we had a reading from all 7 acts, questionnaire, and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. We now have a reading from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali by the guiding of his father God Allah, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father, God Allah. I'll read from I'm going to read from chapter, the divine instruction from the Holy Prophet. This is going to be chapter 43. The divine instructions from the Holy Prophet. The insufficiency of knowledge. If there is anything lovely, if there is anything desirable, if there is anything within the reach of man that is worthy of praise, is it not knowledge? And yet, who is he that attaineth it? Thus, we've had a reading from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Our Sunday school is officially open, and I'd like to welcome you all that came in while we were reading the laws, and to get our vibration going so we can receive that nourishment that Allah has seen fit for us to have today. I'll call for our Grand Sheikh and moderator of the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated, our brother, man, and friend, Brother R. Jones Bay.
Islam.
Islam.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through His holy prophet, Deuteronomy. Amen. Praise the Lord. Okay. So Islam, praise the Lord. Allah bless us to get here. He bless us to get here. Who made you? Who is Allah? Can we see it?
No.
Where's the nearest place we can meet him?
In Allah.
Who is Noble Duali?
He is Allah's prophet.
He is Allah's prophet. What is the prophet?
Prophet is all Allah manifested in the flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Noble Duali.
What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
1913 AD.
Where?
New York, New Jersey.
Where was Noble Duali born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is his nationality?
Moorish American.
What is your nationality?
Moorish American.
Why are we Moorish Americans?
We are descendants of the prophets born in America.
For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
For the uplifting of all humanity.
When we first came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, when we first came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, we came to Sunday school. One of the first things that we heard was what? Who made you? That's right. One of the first things we heard. Who made you? And then what did we hear? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. But let's stop for a minute. We said, when we came into the Moorish Science Temple of America, one of the first things we heard in Sunday school was, who made you? Now, some of us have been here for a moment. Now, of course, we know that the answer is what? Allah. Okay. From the time that you came in, you saw it from a certain perspective. And you could elaborate. You could elaborate on it. But you elaborated in a limited way because you didn't know. Now what do you see? What can we talk about now about who made you that we could not talk about before? What do you see now as opposed to what you did not see before? How have you grown? Come on, brother Smithfield.
Yeah,
Smith Baker.
Smithfield. Man is not the body or the soul, but the spirit and part of Allah.
Say it again.
Man is not the body or the soul, but it's the spirit and part of Allah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Come on, brother Thomas. Thomas Lee.
We hear special comedian was in the heart.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Who? Oh, come on, Mo.
That Allah is the Father of the universe.
That Allah is the Father of the universe. That's good. Yes, that's good. That's good. Come on, brother Harris here.
Be the strength of Allah made manifest.
Be the strength of Allah made manifest. That's good. Brother Harris here, why is that important? The be the strength of Allah made manifest. Why do you think that's important?
To know why you have to fight your foes. You know why you have to overcome certain things. To know the reason why you do it.
Wow, you know the reason why you do it. That's good. To know the reason why we're fighting. To know the reason why we're in this struggle. In the struggle to do what? Why are we in the struggle?
To get back.
To do what?
To get back to Allah.
To get back to Allah. Why is it necessary that we get back?
Debased ourselves.
Huh?
We debased ourselves.
We did debase ourselves, but why is it necessary that we get back? Because if you really think about it, We could survive down here. Why is it so important that we get back? Get back where?
Home.
Home.
Native land.
Yeah. Get home. We're trying to return home because this is not what? This is not home. Come on, brother Crawford.
No, and also returning back as one, but Allah is our true being. You say we can survive down here, but this is only limited. We can only survive down here for a period of time, for a moment. But once we return back as one with Allah, that's eternal,
Okay,
everlasting,
okay, okay, okay,
spiritual
okay,
thing.
okay. That's good, okay. But what else? What else? Who made you? What else? Come on, bro.
I learned that, like two things, truth and falsehood. And also, I learned that, Allah and man is one.
Okay, okay, okay. Come on, Mo.
Because we are made in the image and after the likeness.
Yeah, we are made in the image and after the likeness. Okay. But Moya.
It's also, if we have two selves, a higher self and lower self,
Yeah.
with that higher self, we have all power in heaven and earth. So we can't say the devil made me do anything because we got our devil in us. So it's your will. We have choices to choose. So we got to choose to keep our hands in all our hands. We want to make it, that's the purpose we are down here for, to learn how to love unconditionally.
Yeah.
So you can't say somebody made you, and everything down here is a test for us. So when somebody come at you negative, you act negative to that person. That means you got to keep working on yourself.
Yeah.
So everything's a test.
Yeah. Yeah. Sister McGee,
I was gonna say that we learned that we have a nationality,
that's the truth. Why is that important?
so you can know your foundation.
So you can learn your foundation. Yeah. Why is it necessary for us to know our foundation?
To know where we came from.
Know where we came from. Let me ask you this then. Why is it necessary to know where we came from?
So I'll just try to put it in my words. That's how we grow
Okay.
in the process of knowing what our forefathers went through.
There you go. Yeah. Because what you're really saying is that we return into the state. That's good. That's good observation. Come on, Brother Crawford here.
It's, another thought came to mind was the human seed.
Okay.
Allah through forth
Okay. Okay.
into the soul that it may grow apace.
Okay.
And that seed held the potencies of Allah,
Okay.
and every part of it that especially play.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So when I think of Allah made me,
Okay.
it was from that human seed that I came from his heart.
Okay. Okay. Come on, let me hear you, babe.
I thought I was thinking about the harmony.
Okay.
And then also I was thinking about being ourselves.
Okay.
See, when we in our higher self, we are being who we really supposed to be.
Okay.
So to be one with him again, it's allowing us to be who we truly supposed to be.
Okay.
And that is being harmony with our creator.
Okay.
So when I was thinking about harmony, because that's what we're trying to do, is come to be back in harmony
Okay.
with our creator.
Okay.
Because we based ourselves on that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and we will be who we really supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. Come on, babe.
We all made in his image and after his likeness.
Yeah.
So the same thing I see in me,
Uh-huh.
I see in you.
Okay.
So we got the potential of just, whatever we see, we just gotta just recognize it. Same thing that I see
Right.
in him, same thing I can see in myself.
Okay.
Go from there,
And whatever that may be.
yeah, whatever that.
Okay. Okay. That takes a lot of courage to see something in somebody that you don't like and then associate it with you. You know? That takes a lot of courage to do that. You know? Come on, Bro Moya.
And also, we got to realize that we all are connected, so whatever you do, we do to each other, we also doing it to Allah, we all are connected.
Yeah. 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 We are connected. Yeah. Come on, Mo.
I want to add to what I think they said. I used to look at someone and want to judge
Yeah.
or feel sorry or feel some kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But since I've been coming to Sunday school, I learned, and it helped me a lot, to look beyond what I see with
Okay.
these eyes.
Okay.
You know, I gotta think about Allah in a person.
Okay. Okay.
So I look at beyond that. I don't look at the actual action
Okay.
and what the person doing,
Okay,
what they going
okay.
to.
Okay. Come on, El.
It's not, in fact, your initial question, Grad Sheet, when I first came and heard that in Sunday school, I couldn't share with you the way I'm sharing now on the
Right.
topic.
Right.
I mean, I knew that Allah was the creator,
Right.
but I didn't know how he made me. And I figured as I stayed in here and learned a little more, listened a little more, it would be revealed to me how he made me.
Right.
And like you say, as I stayed here, that was opened up to me, that was revealed to me.
Right. Right.
But I had no idea when I first heard that. I mean, I believed it because I knew
Right.
Allah's God and he created.
Right.
But I didn't have no ignorance of how he made me.
Okay.
be.
Okay. Okay. You know, man has two cells. Oh, come on, bro. Let me be back.
No, I just wanted to say that I'm still working on that piece right there because I'm kind of thinking about whatever has been made can be unmade. And I don't know if I'm misplaced in that or
Right.
I don't know, you know, because man is never was, you know, man have always been.
Right.
So I'm still kind of working with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, But yeah, I mean, the first thing when I first came in was, you know, was that I was not black.
Right.
You know, that was the thing that kind of stuck out to me is that, you know, about the nationality piece, you know.
Right.
And so that kind of really hit me because, like, I hear a lot of times around here is that we got this feeling that, you know, it doesn't make sense that black, you know, it doesn't associate to anything. You know,
Right.
you hear it and we were proud to be and all of that, but
Right.
we didn't have anything it was kind of left out there.
Right.
No flag, no representation,
Right.
you know, so that was one of the things that kind of like put stuck with me when I first came in.
Okay. Sister Delia.
This one, I want to go back to, Allah being our creator. And as I learned, then I started separating my earthly father
Right.
from my spiritual father.
Right.
And get a better understanding because we was under the illusion that our only creator was our earthly parents.
Right.
Right? And it started teaching me more and it helped me teach more about true man. And the
Okay.
true man is the spirit man.
Okay.
Right? And that helped me learn better once I was ever able to separate carnal from spirit.
Right.
And it gave me a better understanding. So that's what helped me when it says Allah's the Father of the universe,
Right.
creator of all of us. And that I had to get better understanding and I started learning from there.
Right.
And who the true man is.
Right.
And then tapping into that spirit
Right.
and making it work for me.
Right. Okay. All right. Man has two cells. Right? Yet man is a spirit and a part of Allah. Explain to me how a spirit and a part of Allah has two cells. Or is it an added entity that has the two cells? Do you know what I mean when I say an added entity? Another part that has the two cells. That's added to man, which is the spirit.
Good question.
Yeah, take a shot. Well, let's not say shot. You know, yeah, but you can, yeah. But how do you see?
My portion understanding.
Okay.
Man has two cells. One is spirit part,
Okay.
and the other is the part that we need that we need here on earth to function.
Okay. Okay. Come on. Okay. Okay, Mo. Come on, Mo.
Yeah, to function here on the planet, made man. We debased ourselves.
Okay.
Therefore, we had this body,
Okay.
which is not perfect.
Okay.
And we need it here to function.
Okay. 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 That's
I'm gonna hold
nice.
it
That's nice. You gonna hold it there?
Praise the Lord.
Okay. You did good, Mo.
Praise the Lord, Mo.
That was good. That's a good pull.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
The spirit that breathed, the seven spirits that breathed forth
Right.
had created attributes.
Okay.
And they were able to create.
Okay.
And man's ability to create,
Okay.
and once he became a living soul,
Okay. Okay.
once he became a living soul,
Okay. Okay.
he was able to create from that point of view.
Okay. Okay.
And by him being able to create from that point of view, he had desires.
Okay.
He had thoughts.
Okay.
Because he became a living soul, and he was able to be able to think.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He was able to be able to will.
Okay.
He was able to reason.
Okay.
And but it all stems from the ability to create from the start.
Okay.
And wow, look what we create.
Yeah.
Because as long as we stayed in harmony with him,
Yeah.
we might have created a condition like this,
Okay.
but we may not have to suffer so much because we'd have been guided.
Okay.
But man went on his own and here we are.
Okay.
Trying to get it together, trying to get it back.
Okay. Okay. That's nice the way y'all put that piece together. So go ahead, Mo. What you want to say, Il?
Let me get my understanding. Well, listen on. The high self is human spirit, clothed in soul, made in the form of Allah.
Right.
When you spoke about the cells, the two cells,
Okay.
and the lower self is what the high self lacks.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace. Okay. It's not. It's not. Come on, sis.
It's not, can you say that one is conscious and one is unconscious?
Oh yes, no question. You can say that. You can say that. Come on, Mo.
Yes, everything that brothers had said, was put me right into creation of fall of man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
let me read a part of it. So spirit man as a seed of Allah held deep within himself.
Okay.
The attributes of every part of Allah.
Okay.
Now seeds are perfect, yea, as perfect as the source from which they come.
Okay.
But
Stop right there for a minute, baby. Look. So at that reading, that part that you just read, what do we know for sure about the spirit?
Praise the Lord.
What did we learn about the spirit just in that reading? Just that part you read.
That's perfect.
And it has what?
Attributes
Of what?
of Allah.
So we know it's not the spirit that got the lower self.
No.
Yep.
We know the spirit don't have the lower self. Because according to the description in the Holy Koran, it tells you about the spirit. So what part of man has a lower self?
Flesh.
The flesh is the lower self.
Body and soul.
The soul.
Man became a what?
Living soul.
And when he became a living soul, look what happened.
He created it. He was able to.
Perfume, the whole.
All of that. But initially, when he became a living soul, he began to do what?
Desire.
And also to do what? He also desired, he began to will. He began to think. You see what I'm saying? Now this took place on the soul plane, not on the plane of spirit, because he left the plane of spirit as a seed and was placed in the soul plane. So all this stuff that we started to experience is in fact a result of the being or existing on the plane of soul. Because remember, we entered into the ethers that vibrated slower from the plane of soul, not from the plane of spirit. Things started to become different when we became a living soul, and then now we start to exercise our own God-given abilities to, in his image, think, understand, reason, and will. So quite naturally, when we start doing that, what happened? A nature sprang forth. Something sprang forth from us taking on our own responsibilities of thinking, understanding, reasoning, and will. Something jumped off. We put something in motion. We created something. Because now we're thinking independently from the source from which we come. Now that spirit that's still dwelling inside that living soul. The spirit is perfect. Because it's from the source from which it comes. It came from the heart of Allah. How can it not be perfect? But it has to grow into perfection. So the soul is given to us to help us to grow. But the perfume, the odors, the true sensation that was clothed in flesh has a magnetic drawing power to the soul. And when that body of desire kicks in, and if it is influenced by the outside, it influences the soul to go into another direction. And what does she do with her thoughts? She creates the condition that she is under the influence of. And the longer you get away from thinking a certain way, you start to fail to recall from which you came. And once you fail to recall from which you came, substitutes are put in place. You're not, yeah, because now you are subject to what? Influences that come from what? Yes, and those influences are what? That come from the Lord's self. What are those influences? Illusions.
I'm trying to hear what, so how we equate the lower self
We equate the lower self with the soul. Man is when he became a living soul. Because remember, the spirit is perfect. We just read that. Nothing can touch the spirit. But the spirit is encased he's encased. He was given a soul for the purpose of functioning. He can't function here without a soul. Nothing can function on the plane of things made manifest without a soul, because the soul was given to man so that he may function on the plane of soul and on the plane of things made manifest. Yes.
The thought that I'm having is,
Yes.
when we became a living soul,
Yes.
and it's a great talent,
Yes. That's committed.
they're committed
Yeah.
to our job.
Yes.
Just listening, it almost say we didn't know what we had as spirit.
What happened was this. Once we became a living soul and we functioned on that plane,
Right.
we experienced desires of what we saw on the lower plane.
Okay, all right.
We desired to go there and see that.
That's spirit.
That's the soul.
So, no, but on the soul,
But see, the spirit is within the soul, so
Right.
quite naturally, when the soul decides, because remember, action is her delight.
Right.
I'm inside. I'm going where you go.
That's what I mean.
And if I'm not giving you, if you're not receiving the guidance that's required to keep you from falling in the abyss,
Right.
you're going to fall in the abyss. And so whatever was able to attract her, man, as a living soul, remember, whatever was able to attract us is what we pursue. And once that nature started kicking in, we fell under the influence of the nature, and then we gave up the birthright.
Right. To gratify.
It's just to gratify that. That's it.
Right. So we further along as the soul continued to influence.
Yeah.
By us not being able to get control of it.
Right.
The
It
further
took us
we went
deeper and
down-
deeper into
further
the
we
world.
went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, because just like house.
To a point that the soul was dictating to us more so than the spirit
What-
dictated to the soul.
That's the whole point. That's who was dictating.
The soul.
But the soul was that part of us. That's the soul. That part of us, because man is not the body nor the soul, but he has a part which is the soul, which allows him the opportunity to function.
Right.
Now, when the soul does not hear the still small voice, she loses her guidance.
Yes.
She's easily influenced anyway. So if we're not commanding her,
Right.
that means she's going to act on her own. Action is her delight.
Gotcha.
That's her delight. So that part of us that's delighted in action, which allows us to function here, gets caught up in the illusion. And once we get caught up in the illusion, we function in the illusion because we don't hear the voice that gives us guidance. So now what happened? We're lost. We're lost. I can't hear the still small voice anymore because I'm caught up in the illusions of the world.
Right.
And the spirit is in there.
Come on.
You're not listening to the spirit. You're doing whatever you want to do. So you got to go and create conditions that also involve your spirit, because your spirit is within the soul that creates a condition for you to experience. Come on.
So when the book say act as that soul dictate to thee.
Under guidance.
Under guidance.
Under guidance. Remember, he tells you, you can only act as she dictates when you restrain her, when you correct her. You can't act as she dictates if she has no guidance. If you haven't established the principles of action. Don't you know what she got? Don't you know what we got into when we didn't have guidance and we just let her make her move like that? Outrageous. And we did outrageous stuff. That's her. That's man. Look, that is man as a living soul acting out. Don't you know? Even in my period, in my pursuit of being in the dark, the voice tried to tell me. I heard what it said, but it didn't say it strong enough for me to listen. Now, after the event occurred, then I said, I should have listened. If I had did what I was told to do, I would not be here. But she didn't listen. Man is a living soul. Come on.
Her searches for truth.
Yes, Mom. And her means to discover.
Her means.
That's right.
Our reason and experience.
That's right. That's right.
And
That's
she
right.
will go wherever she can.
Right.
To find it.
Right.
Or go with, or put you in any condition
Right.
to learn it.
Right.
Because like you said, it's not controlled
Right.
with reason.
But see, remember now, her means to discover our reason and experience.
Right.
But remember, as we are in pursuit, we are not using reason.
Right.
See, if we're not under some type of rule, we're not using reason. The experience part we'll get once we have a certain experience and we sit down and now we reason out what happened.
That's what we went through.
But it's not the time to reason after we go through it. We try to reason before we go through it. The glory and the shame has been displayed.
Because because the soul is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with her.
Ain't nothing wrong. The soul is perfect.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with her. See, it's nothing wrong with her, but she must develop the state of perfection to be effective in the job that she was given to us to do as the great talent.
Right.
See, you can also debase her.
Yes.
She's still perfect, but you have debased her.
Right.
You debase her when you do what?
When you don't follow instructions.
When you don't follow instructions. Come on, Mo, what you gonna say? I thought I saw your hand. Come on, what you gonna say, Mo?
I like to get
Now remember, when you debase her, you do what? Let me hear you say what that is first. You debase your soul. You debase yourself. What does that mean? You do, but what else does it mean?
lower the quality.
You what?
Lower the quality.
You lower yourself. Remember, debase yourself not to the sense of brute. You know what a brute is? What is a brute? A bully. A bully. A intimidator. A vantage taker. So you can debase a perfect entity. That's why he lets you know. Forget not how great a talent has been committed to your charge. When we don't control her and she acts out, she is in a state of debasement.
Yes.
You know some of the things that people do, man. You live it every day. That's them as a living soul, lowering themselves to such an extent more but you got to go to your greatest depth to get to your highest heights.
Right. Because he says, like, even in the hands of a sword in a man.
Yeah. Yeah. Even in the hand of
With souls that lack discretion.
Yeah, that lacks no.
You're subject to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Now keep in mind, that same soul that we're talking about can go there, can also go here.
Right.
It's us who do what?
Give a life.
Yes, we direct its course to what? Virtue.
The book say restrain her.
You got to, Mo. Because you got to restrain her because she acts out so quick. If you don't restrain her, she'll be giving you information because she's going to give information. She'll give you information that's false.
Inquiry of the life.
That's what it is. Always asking questions.
And then you caught up.
And the thing most things that's what happens to when you impair her by substances that you put into the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You impair her judgment. Because from that moment that you start to become controlled by those substances, she has lost all types of reason. Her focus now is in pursuit of things. Yes, my dear.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Where do evil spirits come from?
The evil spirits come from the lower thoughts that you enter into once you start to turn away from he who gives guidance. The minute you say, I'm going here with total disregard of who that is, it's evil. The minute you see something different from Allah, something other than Allah, when it's no other, keep that in mind. Once you see other than Allah, then you are now entering into the realms of evil.
So it started out as a holy or good spirit.
Yes. Well, see, it's always been good. It's always been good. It's always been good. It's good now. But it's what we have done to cause it to experience those things that brings it into the realm of darkness. Even in darkness, she was perfect. When we was ripping and running in the street, when we was cutting up, she was still perfect in our bosom.
So when we're told or it says that evil spirits are going to be lowered.
Lord, yes.
What evil spirits are those?
Those are the spirits that feast off of hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. Those are the spirits that receive that nourishment. That's what they consume. That's what the evil is. And those are thoughts.
And they lower, they incarnate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if they're Lord, they come into the plane of things made manifest. They have to incarnate. You know, some they have more influence. See, evil spirits, what I've learned, they seek to be incarnate because they want to express in a manifested way for the purpose of creating the illusion that they are God.
So that's what the prophet said when they're talking weak mind.
Yeah, Mo.
Yeah.
Because once they get influence over you, they have incarnated. Come on, Mo.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you connect Elohim with man? I mean, because it say, I mean, who is Elohim? Elohim is the seven spirits that created everything. Yeah. 7 created spirits that created everything that ever was and evermore to be.
Years more.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, let me go, it's with 96. Who made the devil? Elohim.
Right.
So how do we connect? I mean, you know, I'm trying to put it, because Sister what you just asked, that's sort of the question I'm asking about the evil. You know, did we created it?
The man evil is created by man.
Man, right. So what is Elohim? I'm trying to put it, I can't put it in. Play a part. I mean, so was Elohim? Well,
You know what? Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. The thoughts that you're entertaining at this time are thoughts that will have to be revealed to you. Now, you're going to have to put the pieces together. It's going to come out in parts, but you got to put the pieces together. You have to think about it. You see what I'm saying? You know? See, yeah, we can go into Elohim and we all have our portions of the understanding, but you got to get yours. You know, that's why I'm what I've learned in here, when certain topics are discussed, there are only certain pieces that appeal to you. You may not understand the whole conversation, but something you heard stimulated something. And that's the part that will be fed to help you to be more, that's so that it can be more, what? Revealed. Thank you. Yeah. Because you know what that's called?
Gnosis.
Yes. And the gnosis is what?
Revealed.
And what is the revealed knowledge?
The light.
It is, but what is the revealed knowledge?
Understand.
It's a revelation. For you to receive, that's a revelation. And the only way that you receive your revelations is to do what?
Ask in sincerity.
That's right. But how else? What else? How else do you receive it? From your practice.
That's your aha moment.
That's right.
They,
Yeah. Oh wait, I got Sister Ripley. I got you back. Come on, Sister Ripley.
So what is the difference between the mind and the soul?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, see, you can't. It's difficult to say what the difference is because we can't seek to know the soul perfectly, so we don't know what part the mind plays with us. All we know is this about the mind. Well, we know this. We know some other thing. In the mind, things are made. What type of things are made? Thoughts. In the mind, that takes place, but we can't limit that to her because she's inscrutable. So we look at the mind and we say, what can we say about the mind? Well, we know. Let's go into the land. Let's go with mind into the land of what? Fleshless things, where things are what? Made of thought. We know that about the mind. In my mind, I can make things. I can take a thought, go into my mind, and I can make it. But I can't say that that's her.
The soul is doing that.
We can't say the soul is doing that. We can say that that is a portion of what has been identified as the mind that does that. Now, we say that the mind and the soul are the same, which we can't say because we can't seek to know it perfectly.
Right.
There's a finite mind, and then there's an
Infinite mind, exactly. That's right.
It all goes back to it's only one or the other.
It is, because remember, everything has a what? Reflection. Just like you have an inner heart, you have an outer heart.
And also you can lose your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can go out of your mind.
Yeah, outside your mind.
Yeah.
Right. And
You can go.
And more, and it's still thoughts there.
There's no question.
When you go out of your mind, you lose your mind.
But when you lose your mind, or in the process of losing your mind, do you know what happens? That's what the thoughtless think. Come on, Mark.
That's an interesting question. I just, but I just wanted to read something from here.
Yeah.
And I often think about this for myself. It says, justice cannot give her to thee.
That's right, exalted.
Exalted by virtue.
Yeah.
Nor mercy delivered thee, deformed by vice.
Yes. These
must be thine, and thou must answer for them.
That's right.
Suppose not death can shield thee from examination.
That's right.
Think not corruption can hide thee from inquiry.
That's right.
He who formed thee, of thou knowest not what.
Yeah.
Did he not raise thee from thou knowest not what again?
Yes. Yes.
So it tells us
Yes.
we are created.
Yes.
And no matter, it's no way around it. You got to deal.
Babe.
You
Look.
got to deal.
Babe. Justice could not give her to thee what?
Exalted by virtues.
Okay. So that means when she was given, when we grew,
Right.
she was untarnished.
That's right. That's right.
We came into an entity, man, that has been put into this soul, which has caused him to grow into this living soul. It was untarnished.
Mm.
So something happened.
Yeah.
We did something. We didn't control it because we didn't know what she was. It wasn't the spirit inside calling the shots. Because the spirit was still a seed that was developing in an entity that would cause her to function so that she could learn. The seed is in this entity so it can learn by experience. So what happened? We chose.
That's a, you know what? Because he gave us the power.
Come on, Mo.
To choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
He gave us the power.
And we chose.
We chose.
To do what? To go there.
That's why he can say, I come to take away all excuses.
All excuses, Mo. We don't have no excuse because we made the call.
Ain't nobody make us go that way no more.
Come on.
Principles.
Yeah, speak up, Sergeant.
I'm sorry. Principles.
Yes, come on. Come on.
We chose to give it principle, or was principles given to us to give to?
The laws of Allah has always been in existence. Always. You know. And we just, by us making the choices that we made, we strayed from those rules of conduct, those principles.
Yes.
You see, and what we did, we made one of the worst choices that we made was when we gave up our birthright. See, once you give up your birthright, you lose your what?
Nourishment.
Yeah, but you lose your what?
Your way.
Your way. You lose the connection.
Yes.
We had to reconnect Reestablishing.
We have to, it's no question, we have to reconnect by learning from the choice we made, that we created the condition that put us in this particular state. So now we made it, so now what must we do? Unmake it.
And principles, and we have to learn to practice those.
There's no question. Because that's what's gonna bring us out of the abyss. That's why one of the things he says, remember, establish unto yourself what? And forever. Come on.
And this is what you were speaking about, Sister Deborah, the question she asked. He
Yeah.
said, he had instituted law
Yes,
for the
right.
government of the world.
that's right. That's right.
And had wonderfully buried them in all beings.
That's right.
Even by his nature conforming to his will.
That's right, Mom.
It's in us.
It's in us, Mom.
We
It's
choose
in us.
not to apply it.
It's in us.
It's in us.
It's
Except
in us.
man, man only wasn't don't conform to his will.
Right.
We go against the grain because we can choose.
Well, remember, when man fell, everything. You see what I'm saying? Why would it not, when you consider the fact that man is the Lord? But when he gave up his birthright just to do what? Gratify his lower self. Now, what was he gratifying when he gratified his lower self? Listen, hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. That's what he's gratifying, because that's what the lower self breeds. Can't you see how he got away from justice, mercy, love, and right? And chose hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. We chose that. Whether we knew that's what we were getting or not, we went for the offer. He offered pleasure, joy, satisfying gain. He gave unrest, misery, and death. We sought to gratify our Lord self by accepting him. So look what we had to experience. We have to come into the realization of and understand the one from the other. So through experience and reason, she's now learning. She's being taught. Come on, my dear.
I was just thinking that on a very, very small scale,
Yeah.
we're able to see that manifested, in the world.
Yes, sis.
I mean, if we just look and think about the environment,
Yeah, my dear.
just the environment, nothing else.
Yeah.
And how the environment has been damaged
Yes.
because of the choices that
Yes.
man made.
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Not to create
Yes.
cars or whatever that don't create pollution.
Yes.
Not to overfish
Yes,
the
yes.
lakes and oceans.
Yes.
It's still those choices that man is
Yes.
making
Yes. Yes.
for what he wants,
Yes.
not caring about or not seeing
Right.
that what I'm doing is affecting
Right.
every other living thing.
Right.
Including me.
Right. Look what he's doing though. Still gratifying. The what? The Lord self. See, you don't read chapter 1 and think that process is not being done right now. Don't disassociate that like that. We're doing it right now.
Right.
You know? Come on, my dear.
Is it, okay, can you say that the soul's been tampered with when you're born?
I'll say it was tampered with once it realized that we had a choice.
Okay, because I know, I just heard you say we tamper with our bodies when we put things in it.
Yes.
So when a child is born,
Yes.
they initially giving them these first shots and things like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Can you say that can alter and tamper with?
See, let me say this about being. their teachings
It's hard.
are teachings to keep us responding to a certain way of thinking. They use whatever they can to alter the way we think. That's what they do. You know, that's what they do. And as we grow into it, we become accustomed to it. Whereas in many cases, we start to accept it. Because until we get to a point where we can start to see what's going on, we are products of it. But as we grow and develop, we've already done things that they have induced. Now we're trying to correct the way we think so that we can come up out of a certain condition, a mental condition. See, what we've had to experience affected us mentally, and we're still affected mentally. That's why we fight each other, because that was put in us to make sure, do not, whatever you do, if you want to stay on top of these people, don't let them ever remember that they got a relationship. Keep them divided. Because if they become unified, being who they are, it's over for us. Come on.
And he shared it with us when he said, who represent the Lord, sir?
Yes, Mo.
Those who were cast out the holy city and those who accepted their teaching.
Yes, sir. That's what he say, Mo.
Now,
That's what he
what
said.
we have to evaluate, what I'm learning is we have to evaluate what their teachings are.
Yeah. Well,
Because their teachers ain't always saying that I am, their teachers never say I am the Lord's self. Because their teachers are appealing to something about us.
Right.
And that's why he say he who knows well his Lord's self knows the illusions of the world.
Right.
He who knows what, like,
No, you're right, man. You're right. It's just that, you know, their teachings are the teachings of the 10 Commandments. The rulers and the rich live, while the poor suffer and die. Those are the teachings.
and we gotta be careful, baby, because we practice.
There's no question.
Some of us practice.
It's no question.
Those teachings.
More of those
For our
teachings,
earthly gain.
those teachings have been embedded in us.
Come on.
And because of our lack of understanding, we embed into our offspring.
That's right.
And then they embed into their offspring. Until the time arrives when one comes from the great God to redeem us from our sinful ways by teaching us the truth about who? Ourselves. And that's what we're being exposed to now.
So, is that the mental slavery?
Yeah, Mo, that's the mental slavery that you now have. Yeah, Mo. Come on, man.
I was just listening to Sister Long Bay, she kind of on the same thought that I was on. Because our Lord said that we the Lord of the plane, a thing made manifest.
Yeah.
And we affect every living thing that's in this universe.
Yeah, Mo.
The birds that fly,
Yeah.
the dogs,
Yeah.
the fish, the
Yeah.
food that we eat,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it affects everything.
And yet they tell us that certain species are becoming extinct because of the conditions that's being created by man.
But don't that fall under their teaching?
Of course, Mo.
It's not.
If any time of teaching teach you the rulers and the rich live while the poor suffer and die, then that should let us know that those teachings are not for us. What are those teachings? Hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. So the result is what it is. What we are experiencing now. But anyway, that's enough. Let's just go to chapter 10. Now keep this in mind, that these are discussions. These are These are discussions.
They're not fact.
Well, can't say they're fact. They're based and supported by fact.
That's your question.
Yeah.
So you said, we started off saying that, spirit don't have a low self.
No.
We have a high self and low self.
Yeah.
And you said that some was added, like an added entity.
When man became a living soul. Man, the seed that came from the heart of Allah was what? Right, but what was it done? What happened to it? What was done with the seed? It was planted. And what happened once it was planted? It grew apace. Okay, once it grew apace, what did it grow into? A living soul. And what are the actions of the soul? So that means it can call its shots. Come on.
Can I ask this though?
Yeah.
Because I was still around that question that I had about
Who made you?
who made you.
Yes.
Is that the part?
Is that the part?
I think it is.
Well, if you satisfied with it, then. Okay. Come on.
Because I'm hearing it, because I hear this word, foe. When we keep on talking about these thoughts,
Yes.
they became to be foes as I read it.
Yeah.
Been reading it.
Yeah.
They became to be foes that we saw to have to fight, must fight.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Because where did the foe come from?
It's
Us. Because of the way we was thinking. We created our own. If man is found to say, do you look within? If man is found the devil, he must look where? Within. His name is what? So you created him. You created him. Allah never made a heaven. He never made a hell. We are creators.
Come on.
So Mo, that enemy, that foe that seeks to do us harm, we created it.
We created it, Mo. By the way, by the choices we made.
And that's the same foe we must learn to serve.
No,
No.
The foe that we learn to serve. Yeah, I'll say that. The one we learn to serve.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Because like you said, no, who was it that said that Brother Smith, pardon me for pointing. Brother Smith Bay said, what we see is literally what's in ourselves.
Right.
So the foe that caused us to make those choices, we must serve the foe that we see in others because that's us.
Yeah.
Or that has been a part of us, or a display that we have displayed as something. Maybe not in this lifetime, because man has been here many times because we're still trying to get back. We're still trying to get her in check. No.
It's funny, but when I first said that, the whole room was like,
It ain't funny, it just takes a moment of reflection.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, sir. Probably don't want this property. Here it is. You want it, give me it. But he earned it, he earned it. He earned it. Come on, let's go to chapter 10. We can talk about this. We gotta go to chapter 10 because a master is in the company of those who have gathered to hear what he has to say. And he's giving a lesson. A very important lesson. And guess what? The time or the moment is appropriate for the lesson to be delivered. But a setting has been put in place. A condition has been created to help the lesson have more
Influence.
that's good influence. And all those who are there have been chosen to be there. Nobody is there out of place. There are no accidents or happenings. Okay. So in chapter 10, it says, Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Benares is the sacred city of the Brahmins. And in Benares, Jesus taught. Eudraka was his host. Eudraka made a feast in honor of his guests. And many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there. And Jesus said to them, with much delight, I speak to you concerning life, the brotherhood of life. The universal Allah is one, yet he is more than one. All things are one. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. So if you touch a fiber of a living thing, you send a thrill from center to the outer bounds of life. By what breath?
Sweet breath.
Sweet breath. What else? What can you associate the sweet breath with what breath?
Holy breath.
Holy breath. That's good. Yeah, I'm right there too. But it could be something else. But I'm saying it like you all do too. Because I was asking myself by the sweet breath of Allah. What's more sweet than the holy breath?
The breath of harmony.
Say it again.
The breath of harmony.
The breath of harmony. Oh, baby.
What?
The breath of heaven.
The breath of heaven. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
The breath of heaven. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Breath of harmony is good too.
Breath of heaven. I like it.
Breath of heaven. Yeah. Okay. And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. What picture do you get from a sword trembling in its sheath?
Something get ready.
It's on a 3.
Huh? What do you see? Here, the sword, you step on that bug, and all of a sudden, the sword is trembling in its sheath. What do you see?
It's barely holding on.
Losing power.
You see Allah's mercy.
Okay.
Like,
What do you see when it's trembling?
Vibration. Vibration.
A vibration. And if it's vibrating, what is it a risk of?
Vibration.
Coming loose.
Yeah.
Cover the loose on Hooter.
The one, whoever causes it to tremble. The one who causes it to tremble.
the creator, the wicked.
Justice.
Yeah.
You causing it to tremble. You causing it to tremble, you risk it coming to loose. On who? You.
That's definitely
Come on.
But I see the mercy of Allah.
There's no question.
Allowing it not to come out.
There's no question.
So it just causes
Yeah, no question.
mercy.
But why do you think, babe, why do you think he lets us know that a result takes place when certain things are done?
to make us conscious of what we do.
Yes.
To make us aware that what we do and what we set in motion.
Yes.
What we can set in motion with what we do.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Come on, yo.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. And also, I said it's a warning.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
And the trembling is a warning before justice takes its course.
Oh, yeah, Mo. Yeah, Mo.
It's not.
See, now when we become conscious of that,
Yeah.
that helps us
Yes.
so that we won't do it.
Yeah.
Because he's giving us a warning of what will take place.
Yeah.
And we continue.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on.
Yes, yo, that's it.
right.
And
That's right.
Just, if I may for a second, just another part of it is this, in my way of looking at it right now. And we're reading this, Jesus is, to me, letting them know about the result of your intent.
Okay.
See, this is the result of your intent. If you intend to do this,
Yes. Okay.
then this is what may take place. And he's warning you,
Okay.
not to do it because what you create. The intent is important because there's another chapter that we talked about a week ago when he instructed to
Yeah, yeah, cause one of the four, yeah.
And like that, yeah, that's a different intent.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so here, it's about you being conscious of your intent to do things.
yeah, yeah. That's good insight. Good insight. That's good insight. Come on, Brother Moya. No, Brother Doganil. Then Brother Moya.
This is a verse I've been wrestling with for some time now because I have a pest control company.
Yeah.
And at one point in my life, I used to push bugs outside. I wouldn't kill nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, if you get bed bugs in your house,
Yeah.
you gonna call somebody to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Or I'll call somebody to get rid of them if they're mine.
Yeah.
Do I share in the cause of the trembling because I called somebody to do wrong?
Do you cause the trembling, or are you performing a service to receive to relieve?
Come on. Come on, that's it.
Yeah.
Intent. Your intent is not to cause harm. Your intent is
It's to relieve suffering.
From being
These
harmed.
bugs are biting. You know.
We just talked about this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
To the sense of group.
Yeah.
So you just don't go around and just be smashing stuff.
Yeah.
Right. You got big feet.
Yeah.
Or you don't just go around and just be hurting things because this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything has its purpose.
Yes.
But I think the word intent is very important because some things that are here, they have this purpose, but everything is so awry,
Yeah.
it can be more harm to you than it can be good.
Yeah.
Because right now, everything is so awry, it's no harmony.
Right.
The beast is eating the plants consuming the herb,
Yeah.
and everything is awry.
Yeah.
And what I think, when I look at this sometimes, I look at it, is he's trying to get us back to being in harmony,
Yes.
making us aware of how we've been operating and what we've been doing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen overnight,
Right.
but he's making us aware
Right.
of the things we have been taught to do
Right.
compared to the things we should do.
Right.
But the more we practice,
Right.
some of these things won't even affect us,
Right.
because he'll protect us from these things.
Right.
But like this is something I think about, just walking around, just smacking the fly bug, you just don't like the fly, so you gonna smack it.
Right.
The fly got a purpose here.
Right.
Just like if the fly just came up to you and smacked you.
Right.
I've seen people lose it on flies.
Right.
I can't stand it. What can you stand?
Right.
So that's just something.
Brother Moya.
That verse reminded me, something happened to me when I was 11 years old. I had a BB gun and I shot a bird on the fence. And when that bird hit the ground, it's like a part of me hit the ground.
Right.
I took the bird and I buried him. I can't kill anything since then. If I fly into my house, I open up the door, get a towel, and run him out.
Yeah.
And that's why when I went to Vietnam,
Right.
Allah made me a cook, so I don't have to go out and kill another person. Yeah. People go around killing each other like that.
That's
He can see it.
it's a blessing. It's a blessing you can see. It's all right.
It's I see that we gonna still have to answer to all of them.
Right.
We gonna still have to answer.
Right.
Because conscious or unconscious.
Right.
We say we're the spirit of part of love. We still gonna have to answer it.
Right.
Still at the day of judgment.
Right.
These things will already be
Right.
up for
Right.
the thing we do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we will be answered for.
Right.
Like we said, by that time, we might have got to that stage
Right.
that we finished going through these cycles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we've already had got to the point of
Right.
perfected man.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Remember, like he said in the book, be aware of the intent. Be aware of the intent of thy actions. Come on, baby.
Just briefly, I was just thinking about the cord.
Yes.
It made me think about the cord that reminds us that we're bound by cords of Out there living.
That's right.
That's right. So that's just the thing.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Come on, dear.
You know, I was thinking, I think last week we touched on, it says no cause the thing that Allah has made to suffer pain.
Yes.
And we was talking about anything Allah has made, we was talking about the bugs and stuff. When I asked you the question about what man has made, when they be cross, you know,
Yeah, cross
breeding and things like that.
Yeah.
So how would that count? I mean, and I'm not saying
See-
that we're gonna go around killing anything on
Right.
purpose, but
Right.
you understand what
But
I'm saying?
remember, see, we're focusing so much on the act that we're not focusing on the intention.
Yeah.
That's it.
We gotta focus on the intent. It ain't the act,
Right.
it's the intent. Because that's what you're gonna be judged on.
That's what you say, the sin lies in the witch in his eye?
Yes.
99?
But speaking of intent, boy, you got people that kill animals for hunting reasons. You got people that kill animals that eat.
It's the intent.
For nourishment, yes.
It's all about the intent. Stop getting so caught up on the act.
Yeah.
You help a person. What's your intent for help? So you can go around and talk about what you done for somebody? Or are you doing it because you sincerely want to assist them? It's your intent. Everything you do, you're going to be judged based on your intent. Not what you done, but what was your intent when you did what you did? Remember that. That's why I tell you that. Beware. Beware saying do what? You better. Yeah. Watch what you do. Okay, let's try to get one more before we go. The bird sings out its song for men, and men vibrate in unison to help it sing. What's there? Man, the bird sings out his song, and what does men do? Vibrate. What's there? What's the connecting factor there? Harmony. People. Harmony. So when the birds sing and the man vibrate, that's because they're in harmony.
Sometimes this bird sings too early in the morning, it's waking me up.
What would you rather hear singing?
Exactly.
Lucky that you can say.
But it's a blessing you can hear birds sing. I know. Come on, Mom.
It's not. That made me think of, I remember when we went there at Moore's Home #1.
Yeah.
It was Friday, we just getting ready to have Friday service.
Yeah.
And the birds started singing in harmony.
Yeah.
And that was the sweetest, one of the sweetest moments I was known.
Yeah. Especially when you can hear it.
Yeah.
The birds still sing. They ain't stop singing, but we don't always hear it.
What about when the dog barking at night?
What about it? What?
The dog.
The dog is barking at night.
I ain't see where it talks about the dog barking at night in the book.
You see it? Yeah.
I ain't seen that.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying dogs have a right to bark. You know, because maybe the dog is barking as a warning. To alert you.
Most of the time.
Okay. Come on, Mark.
It's you know, they have, and speaking of birds singing, they have a bird that's called the Allah bird. And what he sings is, Allah, Allah. You can find it in their book.
And you can find it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all?
Yeah. That's what you told me.
Yeah, because I was right there at the gas station. I was right there at the gas station.
And that's a sweet saying. That's
On Annapolis Road, pumping gas. And I heard it. I looked up and what What did he say? And it said Allah, Allah. Then when I came and I shared it, Brother Richardson Eel from New York,
Right.
he said, Brother Jones, babe, I looked it up, and it is a bird that says Allah. See, I witnessed it. I bear witness to it, and that's what it said. You know?
One thing, babe, a lot of things the animals does in their language, but we ain't consciously here because of the way we think.
There's no question. Babe, don't you know, many of Allah's creations, remember, they sing his praise.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We're the ones that don't necessarily always hear the song.
They're harmless.
They are harmless. All right, peace.
Peace. Islam. I'd like to thank our Grand Chief and moderator, our brother man and friend, Brother R. Jones Bay, for coming forth with an inspiring Sunday school lesson. And I'd like to thank you all for your participation. And I'll now call for the Grand Chief of Washington, the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C., Brother H. Harris Bay, to read our divine proclamation. And while it's being read, please give the reading your undivided attention and cease all movement.
Islam was. First, I give praise to Allah and honor the Prophet Noble Ali. I give honor to each and every one of you, and I give honor to everything Prophet Noble Ali has brought for the uplifting and fall of humanity. Prophet warns all modern governors, ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speech while at work, in their homes, or on the street. We offer peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cars at Europeans and causing confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their rewards for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down for them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Ali. Peace.
Peace. Truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector. My God, and my salvation.